Verizon second quarter results hitting. Earnings came in at $1.15 a share on an adjusted basis. That's in line with what the street was expecting. Revenue of $32.8 billion was just below expectations. The company did see retail postpaid net adds of 340,000. Verizon ended the second quarter with 11.5 million total broadband subscribers. That was up 17% from last year. And joining us right now is Verizon CEO and Chairman Hans Vestberg. Hans, thank you for coming in today.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
Good.
You're busy.
We are.
I can see that.
You are too.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the results. So earnings came in line with expectations. The revenue was just below. I think the street's reaction is a little lower at the moment. What happened in the quarter?
No, I think we had a really good quarter. It was our fourth consecutive quarter where we had improvements on EBITDA, cash flow, as well as the wireless revenue. The overall revenue is a little bit down, but that's because the promotion and the upgrades on phones is still down. So what we are measuring on ourselves is a service revenue, which is the most important, and that is growing 3.5%. So that was important. The other was, of course, important that we added 148,000 new wireless phone net addition and almost 400,000 broadband customers again in this quarter. So we're doing great. I mean, the team, we refreshed our brand. We came out with new products in the quarter. So we're looking forward to the second half. Definitely our products are resonating with the market really good. I'm pleased with the progress the team is doing and what we've done the last 12 months.
The upgrades on phones being down with consumers, I mean, if you ask people about that, they will say because Apple hasn't innovated quite as quickly. That there has been some delay with that. They now have this whole new AI plan, and there are some analysts on the street that are excited about that. What are your expectations?
I think it's twofold. I mean, our customer now holds the phone way over 36 months, which is very long. I mean, we remember when we changed the phone every year.
Every year.
Yeah, that was exciting times. I think that there are two things. One is, of course, the resilience and the quality of the phones has improved quite dramatically the last 5 to 10 years. So people can keep them much longer. Secondly...
Much to your disappointment, I'm sure.
No, I think that for us, it's we're disciplined as well and see who are doing the promotions for and what type of promotions are doing in which segment. So I think as the market is saturating in wireless, you work much more with segmentation and see that you have the right offering for the right customers. That's why we span all the way from the prepaid brands, all the way from Visible, Total Wireless, all the way up to the most advanced plans, so we can meet the whole market. And then you have different promotions and different handsets in them. Promotions that you have to offer or promotions that you do in conjunction with any of these handset makers? We do them together with the handset makers, of course, depending on what type of cycle they have. I mean, there are different vendors coming out in different times of the year with new innovations. So that's how we work. And then we're all different, all of us. I mean, some of us are using Android, others are using iOS, of course. So it's different cohorts of customers we're addressing. What do you see from consumers at this point? Are they willing to spend? Are they looking for bargains? Interesting enough for us, you know, the delinquency is basically on the same level as pre-COVID. Then I think what is important for us, we have a very high quality customer base that is very resilient and very strong. Secondly, our product is resonating with the market, and I don't think that anybody can live without wireless and broadband. They have increased in importance in our society because you cannot work, you cannot live, you cannot play if you don't have a mobile phone and broadband. So maybe we're a little bit set aside from other industries that might have some softer consumer feeling, but in our case, we feel really good about our products, the offerings we've done. We started with something called My Plan 1 year ago. More than 30% of all our customers, and we have a big customer base, has now My Plan, which is a sort of optionality, flexibility.
Can I ask you about the growth of fixed line wireless and what that means both to the cable television business, your competitors, including Comcast, parent company of this network, but also the pricing of it, which is to say that it takes an enormous amount of wireless connectivity to make it work. You make more money on a telephone plan, typically, than you would on the fixed line wireless plan. Now, I wonder...
That was your assumption, I guess.
Well, you tell me, because I think there's a view in the telecom world that you can grow, but there's going to come a point where, given just how much broadband spectrum you have, that if you have to choose between selling a wireless plan and selling a fixed line wireless plan, meaning a telephone plan, versus that you would actually much prefer to sell this.
There's a couple of things you need to think about here. I mean, wireless sort of data spread in the air over frequencies is, of course, something I cannot save. Usually, fixed wireless access broadband subscribers are using the network in the evening. If you're using your phone, you're doing it during the day. So I just get utility of my network constantly on the network. So for us, it's more about seeing that we have a good usage of the network 24/7. And we build a network once, and we have multiple different type of services and products on top of it. That gives us the best return on investment in the industry. So what you see right now is fixed wireless access is such a unique product, so different. Self-install. It takes 5 minutes to install fixed wireless access, and you have broadband at home. At the same time, we have Fios, which is undisputably the best fiber product in the market. So we have fiber on top of it, and then we fixed wireless access. A little bit different groups, but they use the network equally much. But so we're excited of it.
That makes me think, though, it's almost like the airlines, where you can only be as smart as your dumbest competitor, depending on how low they are willing to cut prices, right? If for you to have good margins and good profitability, there has to be somebody not undercutting you.
I think we have so much value. The product is so important. I see it more giving more value to our customers. And if you see the last 4 quarters, how we increased our ARPU and all of that, it seems like we can actually see that our customers are getting more value. We are now added, so we have our perk system. So we have the 10 largest streaming services in the country, exclusive on us. So you just build it up in a vertical way in order to see that the customer is staying with you, but also give more value.
Well, am I wrong, by the way, in the assumption? The assumption that you make more money on a phone plan?
That's not how you see it. You build the network once, and the streams are the same. So it doesn't really matter. It's the utility of the network that is important, and that's giving you best yield.
That's a longer conversation.
Yeah, this is complicated.
Right.
Because if you build a network once with one investment...
I get it, but I'm saying at some point, if you had to choose, gun to the head, between this versus the other, I think from a margin perspective, you're doing better on this.
Yeah, it might be, but important is that over time, you're adding also more capacity constantly and more features. Softwares we're getting into 5G Advanced right now is way better. Just imagine we had 3G and doing fixed wireless access. I could have very few customers on fixed wireless access. The innovation in our industry, how we use data and how we transport data, is more efficient every day.